Hello everyone, my name is Neo Mustik. Welcome to this tutorial on how to make grass for your game. Now I'm going to go for a cartoonish kind of grass, so that will be a lot of fun to make. And I took this from a tutorial that a time-lapse that I saw online. In this time-lapse the guy was, showing really fast how to make grass. But for me it was a little bit too fast to actually follow. I constantly had to pause the video and really look close to see what he was doing. So I'm going to just teach you guys how he did it, so how I'm going to do it. And for that I want to have a little reference of a character, so I'm going to append one of my guys really fast, if I can find it, if I can remember where I placed it. It was in my hard drive, in one of my maps. No, not this one. Oh no, it was this one, yeah. Yeah, why not? Let's just take this blend file, object, and I think it's still split up. It's one of these two. And there we go. So you can see it's a pretty strong character, and he even has his nice cute little beard on him. Okay, so I'm going to use this character as my reference as to how tall I want my grass to be. This is going to be just a couple seconds. So what we're going to start with is we're going to make a plane, take a plane, go to edit mode, rotate it by 90 degrees. So the face is forwards, and drag it up. If you guys want to know how I snap it, I hold down the control while I'm dragging out the little grass particles. Now I would like to have two different kinds of grass. I want to have low grass and I want to have high grass. Let's start with, let's just do the high grass so we have a better reference as to, how tall we want it to be. That's all that I needed the character for. Now this piece I'm going to cut up into 5 pieces, so Ctrl R, and then you can basically get these lines. If you use your scroll wheel you can add more lines or less. The minimum is 1. So yeah, that's going to be the start of our grass. For this one I'm going to select these 3 vertices with the middle one as last, and I'm going to say merge to center there, and these ones, I'm going to scale them down to have a representation of what grass actually looks like. And grass looks kinda a little bit like this. It isn't perfect, I'm not happy with what it looks like. I want my grass to be a little bit thinner on top, like this. There, okay, great. So we got our little piece of grass. You can shape it a little bit if you want to have some extra shadow and stuff on it, but I'm going to keep it fairly simple. This one, I'm going to select everything by pressing A a couple times until everything shows up. I'm going to press U, and I'm going to do unwrap. Now if I drag this out and I go to my UV editor, you can see it's in here. I'm gonna scale this down a tiny little bit. In this case, because it's cartoonish grass, you can even put it like this if you really wanted to. But I'm going to keep it like this for now. Okay, so we got our grass. This is not going to look nice, so I'm going to drag it out, scale it down a little bit, not too much. So, like this, rotate it a little bit, just like he does in the video, which is linked. I'm gonna put one on the other side as well, just some random rotations. Gonna drag it out again, scale it a little bit more down, put it right there. I'm gonna make sure that all these lines here at the bottom are going to be equal to each other. Now, one more here. I'm gonna make it a little bit more like that, scale it down even more. and I want this one to be rotated a little bit more. So I'm going to press L, rotate it a tiny bit more, and as you see, we got 5 pieces of grass. Whoops, I didn't want to cut. I'm going to select everything of this one, scale it down a lot more, and I'm going to place that one here. Now in my case, just because I'm like a control freak, I'm going to select all of these SZ0, and that should line up almost at the line. I'll drag it a little bit below it just to make sure, and there we go. I've got my grass. And my mind wants me to do it something like this. Again, a little bit smaller. There we go. So that's the first step. SC0, there we go. And this grass is really thin at the bottom. There we go. So we got 1 piece of grass, and that's what we're going to be working with. Now the next thing that I want to do is add in a camera, which is, it's been a while since I've used Blender, all the way down here. And as you can see, in my case it's not rotated right, so I'm gonna rotate it in the right angle, press 0, so I go to my camera, grab on the Y-axis, and I'm going to slide until my grass, oops, grab Y, until my grass is nicely inside of my camera. Now I do want to change some things. I want to make this, in this setting, you see the little camera on the right. I want to go to orthopedic view, and I want to change in the first tab, I want to change this to X and Y to have the same size. In this case, because it's grass, it doesn't have to be that perfect, but I am going to go for 1080 by 180 just to make it simple. And again, grab Y, grab Y. I'm gonna grab it backwards, hoping that the grass will be in my view, which it isn't. I'm going to drag this down until it's nicely on the line, select my grass, scale it down so it fits, well, so it fits in nicely. There we go. So that's the first piece. The second piece is going to be, we'll have to make all of this into a plane. Because like this, you can import it into Unity, into Unreal Engine, which we are, yeah. Yes, it's an Unreal Engine. I'm sorry, I was thinking, what does EU mean? If we import it like this, that's going to be way too many vertices. You can see 133. We're going to need a lot more. So this is not going to be good to use in our game. Which means we'll have to make this into an image, but we do want to have a texture as well that we can actually import into Unity, Unreal Engine. Why do I keep saying Unity? So Unreal Engine. So let's get going on part 2. So what excuse me. So what we do now is we basically texture it, like point 2 says. For that, what we need to do is we drag out the screen. We go to our node editor. We have to go to cycles render, by the way, which I just did. And here we press new. In my case, it's named material 2, but I'm going to call it grass mat, because it's a grass material that we're going to apply. Now in here, I should, and as you can see, it's already in here, grass material. I'm not going to put in any custom thingies. I'm going to make it green though, like nice and green, so I can at least see it, our texture. And the first thing that we're going to apply is, well, we're going to give it color. And for that, what we need to do is we go to add, convert, and we add in 2 color ramps. So 1, 2. There, I just did Ctrl C, Ctrl V. The second one, oh, maybe we should add in a mix as well. So add texture, and there should be, oh no, color and a mix RGB. Right here in front of it, the mix RGB we put into the color. The bottom one, of course, in bottom color, and the top ramp into top color. Okay, so for the white color, because it's grass, I want to go for green. Not too bright, not too dark, something like, well, let's say that. And for the bottom one, I would like to go for, like the guy in the video did, more of a yellowish tone, like this. And I don't want to have any black in here, so I'm just going to try to delete that color. Same over here, I'm going to click on the black part and I'm going to press the minus, so it's all nice and green, and this is all nice and, well, yellowish green. And that's going to be our color. Now the next thing that we'll need to do is we'll need to add in some other things, which was called insert color. Let's see, gradient texture, there we go. We need that one, and from this the factor will go into this factor. Then we also need a coordinate. Yes, that's going to be the first one, and in the middle we have a mapping. So here we're going to add in a color mapping or whatever it's called. There we go. That's the way he does it. Again, I'm just following this from his time lapse, showing you guys how this works, how he does it. I'm by no means someone who knows how to use this program. I mean, I know how to use Blender, but not the cycles render. Most of the time I model and then I use GIMP or Photoshop or whatever to make the models themselves. So I already set up 2 lights, but I'll delete them just so we can add in our own lights. Yeah, let's just add in a sun. This sun is going to have to be rotated towards our thing, but he probably doesn't want to rotate. Yeah, our sun doesn't want to rotate, so we go to render mode, so we can at least see our grass, and you can see that it's nice and green. I do want to put this closer to it. Render, grab Z. Yeah, the sun doesn't do that much for this, so I'm going to delete the sun. I'm just going to get some point lights, one here, and I'm gonna drag one up. I have one there as well. So if we go to render now, you can see that we have green here and we have the yellowish on the other side. That's not really what we want. We want it to look better. So how we do that is we change the Y rotation to -25 and the Z rotation to no, not minus, just 90. So 90, as you can see, stuff changes. Now how he set it up in his video was this one at 1.7, this one at -1.5, and this one at 2.5. Now you can play around with these to see if you can get a better thing going on for you guys. I don't like that the yellowish is so overpowering, so I'm going to play around a little bit to get that yellowish to be less. So the lower you put this value, the more green you will have, the more yellowish you will have. And I think, for me personally, something like this is good enough. It has a little bit of yellow, not too much. It's linked into the factor and it's all set up the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so that's the grass that we need to make. Now what we need to do is we need to make that into a picture. So I'm going to go back to my normal view. I'm gonna keep the lights here because they will add a little bit to it. If I go to 0 and I go to my rendered mode, you can see that it's looking nicely. Okay, so on the right we go to our camera, we go to render preset. No, I want to have it as, well, we can keep it as a render preset because it's not that much, but still I want this to be 100%. Frames doesn't matter because it's an image. And with PNG, I think, yes, we have RGBA. That's what we need, RGBA, because the A stands for alpha, and we need to find a place where we can take out our alpha. It's not in motion blur. Where was it again? Also, I need to look for a location to put this. So that will be right here next to all my other junk. And this will be called grass texture. And why is this going to be called a grass texture? Well, that's very simple. It's because we're going to make this into a texture. But now we do need to find the place where I can change the alpha. So I think I have to go to HDTV, again 1080, make sure that the size is right and everything. The metadata, I don't need to have any metadata on this. Where was it again? Geometry, no. Here, transparency in film is where it was. Okay, so we got everything set up. Normally, if we take a picture of this, it's going to be what we gave in, like, well, in this case, like this, and it keeps rendering it out, making my computer slow. I don't like that. So we need just one frame. I'm going to put this at frame 1, and I'm just going to go all the way down here where it says, where was it again? Oh yeah, animation. I'm gonna click on it and you can see that it's creating my piece of grass. You can also see that it has corners, but that's all okay. I don't really care. And I'm sorry that I'm taking this long to actually do this. It's been a long time since I've done something like this, and I don't really know how all of these things work. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to save that image as, well, on desktop as grass. There. Save image. And that's it for now. So the next part, the next thing that we need to do is we actually need to make our grass, if that makes any sense. In my case, I'm just going to go to a new file, file, new, there we go. I'm gonna delete everything that's here. I'm gonna create a plane in orthopedic view, side view, in edit mode again, and drag this up. Okay, so view, unwrap, and then we have to go all the way here to these two tabs, and I'm going to name this grass texture text. It doesn't really matter what I name it because the material will be on it anyways. do. And I'm going to open this from my desktop, and it was called grass. There we go. So we got our grass here. We don't see it there yet. If I go to object mode, we still don't see it. In texture, also nothing. Material, nothing. And rendered, just a black space. Now if I add in a light, grab Y, you can see that our blurry grass shows up. I don't want the grass to be blurry. I want it to be nice and firm, like this. And if I go in here, I can actually change some things. Sorry for hitting the microphone. So in transparency, I'm gonna turn this all the way down to 0. And apparently the transparency is still there. But yeah, that's basically how it works. You can see that we have our grass, we have our tile. I don't know why I can't see it. I am seeing the transparency. I do not like that. But yeah, that's a personal problem, I guess. So the color is the, here, the alpha. Holy hell. If I put the alpha at 0, nope. So that's not it. It's supposed to be the transparency, but yeah, I don't know how to work with these things because I use something else. Okay, so we did that. We can now go back to solid. I'm going to take this away, and I'm going to see this center as my center box. This is basically going to be my center. What I'm going to do is, first of all, rotate this just a tiny little bit. Shift D, rotate by 90. It doesn't have to be a perfect 90 though. I'm gonna put this one here, rotate 90, grab it around somewhere here, like that. Shift D, and again, rotate, put it here. So that's going to be our first layer to our grass. What I can do is I can pull these ones in, L, 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 there we go. To select all of these, L, there. So the grass looks like it's going to go into each other, just a tiny little bit. And yeah, of course I deleted my light so you can't actually see it. Okay. So that's going to be the outer layer, but grass is in multiple layers, so I'm going to make a few more. Like so. And I can drag it out a little bit more. And I have to do exactly the same with this. So I'm just going to place it somewhere where it doesn't look too bad. There we go. This one is a little bit too much out, in there. And of course, I'm gonna scale this one down even more. But it's almost in the middle. What I am going to do is I'm just going to place this here, rotate it there, and that's going to be my piece of grass, basically. I know it doesn't look too good, not my problem, because everything will look better once we get it into our program. So I'm just changing some rotations to make it look more at random. That one can stay, because it all looks very generic at the moment. Nope. L. Just to give it some more depth to everything and differences, and yeah. L. There we go. That wasn't really what I wanted to do, but okay. There. So I got my grass all set up. It doesn't look too perfectly straight or anything, so I'm happy with that. And this we're going to go and export as an FBX file. So export FBX file. Make sure you type on selected only. For forward it's -x, and for up it's z. That's the easiest way to work with this. And my scale is, well, I can put it at 1 for now and export this. I'm going to do that to my desktop, and this is going to be called grass FBX. So grass export, there we go. And now for the third step, we need to go into Unreal Engine, because that's where all the magic is going to happen. So I can close Blender right now after I save this as... Nope, I didn't save it. Okay, funny thing. I actually just did this and I saw that you guys couldn't see anything of it, so I'll have to redo this. I'll have to take these three, delete them, force delete, get out of here, thank you. So now that we're in Unreal Engine, what we need to do is we need to look for our grass, open that, import it. There we go, no smoothing groups, that's normal for me. And if we put this in the game and we go to play, this is a problem. We can't go through it, and also if you jump, you can only see the faces that are looking at you. You don't see the other faces, and that's something that we are going to change right now. So we're going to select this, double click, where it says collision, we go to, instead of block all, we're going to press no collision, save this, and you can see how lovely my texture looks here, there. And that's going to be the first problem solved, because we can go through it now. We can even hide in it, but yeah, we can walk through it. Now the second problem is, look at this size, look at how big this is. That's just enormous. That's not how big I want my grass to be, but that's going to be a problem that we're going to be solving later on. First of all, because it was an FBX, we get this little grass material and it imports the grass texture immediately as well. So I'm going to go to this material, I'm going to drag this one here, and I'm going to get the texture sample. I'm going to put that into not emissive. I forgot where I have to put that in. Oh no, I know where. We're going to click on this. We're going to make this masked. And now our opacity mask, we need to put this one in there. Yeah. So it's a two-sided thing. And I also like to put this on two-sided foliage. And then press apply and save. It's applying. There we go, look at how nice this looks. Now, in my case, I don't want to have all of this, so I'm going to add in some constants. Or just one. And for metallic, specular, and roughness, I'm gonna put this at, oh, not 4, 1. Down here at 1. Again, apply and save. Let it first apply, or my laptop will have a problem. There we go, and save, and you can see that it's black over here. That's because I'm facing away, or because I'm doing something stupidly wrong and I shouldn't have done the roughness. Oops, no. Break link. No, that's not breaking link. Delete. There, that's easier. Yeah, okay. So I'm messing stuff up. I'm gonna get this constant again, put it in metallic at 1, apply, and I think the roughness should be 0 to get the color correctly. Specular 1 as well. Let's apply and save this. And the roughness I'm not going to worry about. Same as the texture, I shouldn't be worrying about the texture either, because it's going to be such a small thing. But yeah. Okay, that's good. So we applied and saved this. Apply, save. For some reason I can still apply it, although I just did that, but okay. So apply, save. Yeah. I'm sorry that it's taking too long. Okay, so now we can close this, and this grass hasn't changed a bit. It's still here, it's still the grass, but at least you can see that it is grass. Yeah, we made our first piece of grass, and it's tall grass, so you can just run straight through it. Yay! Okay, so that's a good start. Now, you don't just want to go like this the entire time, like putting all of these grass pieces in here. That's not what you want to do. What you would like to do is, let me delete those. Well, of course, computer crash. Can't even select those, that's nice. So yeah, what you would like to do with this is, you want to have it so you can put it in and you can take it out again. It says that 3 lights need to be rebuilt, so let's build that for a second. Yeah. Warning, map check complete, 1 error. Yeah, I don't care. You can error as much as you want. So, rebuilding my lighting. Yeah. That's nice. Are you done? I'm sorry. Okay, so we don't need these 3 pieces of grass, so I'm going to select these, edit, delete, there we go, but their shadow is still here. I don't really care that much. Now what we want to do is, we want to go to the tab up here to foliage, and where it says drop foliage here, we're going to drop our grass. Now the mesh is good, the texture is good, but what I want is, I want it to be smaller. So in, where was it? Hello? Ah, here, where it says radius and density at scale X. I want it to be between, well, let's say 2 and 3. Well, 0.2 and 0.3, basically. If we do this now, you can see, oh look, we're building grass. Let's build a little bit more. Here's our grass. Now if we change the radius, if I change the radius up, and I put the density down by a lot, aha, there we go, our grass is there. You can see I can make it a lot closer to each other. If I put this at 0, that's going to do nothing. If I put this up, you can see that's like a lot of grass that we're creating right here. Now if I press play, you can see, oh look, all grass. We're walking through black grass because, yeah, I'm not happy with this. I don't want to walk through black grass. So that's something that I want to change personally. There we go, apply and save. This will make my grass a little bit lighter. And with it being so dark, you can't actually see what the next step is going to be that we kinda do need to do. Come on. How long do you need? Thank you. So yeah, now you can see that it's actually grass that's all over here. But yeah, we're in the game right now, and as you can see there's a lot of grass here. But there's one thing about the grass that I don't like. And if you look, I got the hiccups. If you look real closely, you can see the grass is just standing there. It's doing absolutely nothing. Yeah. Now, Unreal Engine has something very cool, and you can see that in his video as well. It has something very cool in which you can actually change the grass, make it movable. And what we need for that is, I'm gonna type in grass right here, and it's called a simple grass wind thing. Now, I want to put the result into world position offset, and it immediately gives me warnings. I don't like that. So we have to add in some constants. I'm going to add in 3 constants. You can use something else as well. He used something else in his video, but I'm going to use constants because it works exactly the same way. Now, the wind intensity is how heavy will it blow your stuff. I'm gonna for now put that at 0.5. The wind height, how high will it blow? I'm going to put that at 0.7. So it's mainly the top that's blowing. And the wind speed, I'm going to put at 0.5 as well. Okay, I forgot to put this at 0.5. There we go, but we still have our error. And that's basically this gray one that we need to plug in into the bottom one. There we go. So if we apply and save this now, you will be able to see, hopefully, that the grass is moving a little bit. If he wants to compile. Saving asset, yeah, it's because I got so much grass in my scene that it's taking a little bit longer. Now you can see the grass is blowing. Let's make this small for a second and get into our game. It's a very, very windy day. For me, this is a very windy day because the grass is blowing pretty hard. As you can see. It is nice how it's waving and stuff, but this is a little bit too much for me. So I'm going to open this one again, and I'm going to change some values. Like this, it's okay, but the wind speed, I want the wind to be like 0.3, and the same for the intensity, 0.3. So apply and save. I'm sorry, it's again applying and saving, and again with all the grass that I have, it's going to take a while before it actually is compiled and saved, basically. Yeah. So how is everyone doing? Is everyone okay? Because I'm feeling great at the moment. There we go. And as you can see, it moves a lot less. I can still change the intensity and make the intensity higher. You just, depending on what you want, you just need to look for something that suits you well. In this case, I'm happy with what I'm seeing right now. It's not blowing too hard, I have more than enough grass, and you can actually walk through it without a problem. And that's what we wanted. If we stand on top of this, you can also see the grass moving. You can actually see it on the shadows that the grass is moving. And that's the end of this tutorial. I showed you guys basically the basics on how to make grass and make it move. Now you can also just make this grass with GIMP or Photoshop and then place it into the Unreal Engine. There's no problem with that because you can do exactly the same things that we just did. Okay, so I hope you guys liked this tutorial, and please subscribe if you want to see more. I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye everyone.